Okay, guys. So, what exactly happened was I was talking about Colossal Problem yesterday. Apparently, some fucking. I can only explain this as this dude is a dickwad. Let me show you what he said.
I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but the way he said it was like,
What?
genuinely I'll let you read it and explain it when you're done. I probably should do that because my wife was staring at me like, shut up. Sorry, we're gonna explain it somehow.
It's called a floor. You want a level 4 for a Colossal Problem, not a level cap.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the one. And the way he worded his message was like totally #worried about the level 4s that are halting my existence to be God tier, is what it was kind of like. I'm worried about the low levels, but I'm worried about them changing my God tier as I'm running a solo through a Colossal Problem. Basically. And I commented. You'll see that yourself. I commented.
I thought the people on Fortnite were toxic. God damn.
You'll learn your lesson before long, bro. By everyone in video games is toxic. Except for us. I mean, we have the balls to try and not be toxic.
I'm the one who goes into a fucking solo match in Fortnite and it's like, hi guys, how are you? Shoot me, I don't care.
I'm looking forward to getting my ass beat by all you wonderful players.
Yes,
I did that one time I did that in a Pokemon match one time for the Coliseum, the online edition of the Pokemon Coliseum shit. I did it in a small championship that was set up for the 3DS Smash Bros. I'm looking forward to getting my ass beat amongst all of you people. I hope everyone here has fun. I got so many dirty looks from other people.
But I was getting off topic.
I was so mad.
Let me read this.
I don't know what it is by good sportsmanship, but I think it kills people's food.
It kills people's food, and that's why people hate me in Fortnite. But I'm getting off
I got
topic.
so many dirty looks.
Low-level players have
but
no
this
business.
guy was...
Oh.
But I want to mention that this dude sounded genuinely concerned for his God tier. There shouldn't be a... He wasn't worried about the low levels. He was worried about the low levels being in the event period. Which is, it goes from being, oh, this dude needed some help and it was kind of annoying that he didn't know what he was doing. This dude didn't even make a point to help him. You know, it's like, oh god, these low levels are a cancerous plague. If you'll read what I sent, word for word, what I sent to him, it pretty much sets out the foundation of why we try to be nice to people in games like this.
And I'm
because people like that.
In a minute.
Go ahead and write it off.
I'm going to read this post here. Low-level players have no business taking up spots that could be filled by high-level players. There needs to be a level minimum to participate. Make it 50. I don't understand why Lobby's even allowed into an event where they cannot participate in any meaningful way.
You tell me that's not everyone. I know the comments I pulled besides mine were not toxic or acknowledging of this dude's toxicity. So I pulled the nicer comments.
And I'm going to read your comment here.
There were more comments I didn't pull that were flat out assholes. Like, yeah, the noob should be completely removed from our God tier of a game, basically. They were they were not friendly. Like, I was born a god and a pro, and these noobs are like cancer. One dude referred to it as a cancer, and he used some weird font type, so Bethesda wouldn't get mad at him. But read some of the comments, if you will.
I'm going to read your comment first. Dude,
word for word.
Stop being so toxic. Just cause you're awesome, just cause you're always was a pro, ego, since godlike doesn't mean you should act on it. by making a toxic post about removing lower level players. Get the fuck out of Fallout if you can't be bothered with your ego to help those who are likely starting out their introduction to Fallout. Players like you need a ban for egotistical toxicity. I helped low levels since the end-ish of beta.
End-ish, because it's end-ish of beta. Because I can't quite remember exactly how far back it went.
And to present day, even if the game is starting to be a clone of other games, I don't leave because I know if I do, people like you will rise up against beginners and start riots to make the game pro and god tier, and it's revolting, man, and unacceptable. This is the BS that others see when they hear from a friend, hey, you should try Fallout 76. They see retardedly toxic high levels saying, back to the trash bin before you go, noob. And noobs are a plague conduit. Glad I was born god tier at birth. Maybe they want to play with other people and debatably the hardest dungeon in the game. Still, I think DMV is Hell's Gate. I agree with you on that, friend. Have you even tried to think that they could use your help? Try doing something good for once, Mr. Silo Captain. That's a good one.
Silo and Captain Eventus Latankus is what I said. If you read it and put it out, it's basically all the god tier players that don't play with anyone else because they're lone wanderer, because they're a bunch of twats that get angry when people want to team with them. So those are nicknames I give people like that. Mr. Solo Silas, they run the silos and shit by themselves.
That's a good one, though. Solo, even the tanks. I'm a fucking tank.
No. If you read it, if you read it exactly how it's put in the other smaller form.
Oh no.
Let me see if I can go back to my post. Let me go back to it exactly so I can explain it to you. It's Mr. Solo Silos and Captain Solo Event Latankus, which means they run everything by themselves and play with the half-ass excuse of I'm a lone wanderer build. I'm a lone wolf. I hate it when people want to help me, and I hate helping people. That's what I mean when I say Solo Eventus Latangus, because they want to run through the build them. They're the ones who jump into an everyone mission and are like getting all the kills. They're quote unquote overperforming to make everyone else underperform, so they could say, "Damn, y'all didn't hold your weight." As he's running with the legacy weapon, his flex outfit, that guy. That guy falls into Solo Eventus Latankus because they're going in, taking everything away from everybody, and then saying everyone else to that fold because they stood there being ass. This dude reminds me of that. He's just pissed that, again, the low levels have the audacity to exist amongst the Scorched Earth event by choice. Sometimes even by themselves, with nothing more than their fists, and they're at least attempting to get a reward. They're playing the event, even though it's, to some low levels, scary. They're trying. And there was even a subreddit, or I guess that's what you call it, where there's another chat somewhere in the Fallout universe. It's under Reddit. I guess you call it a subreddit because it's not this one, but it may have been in this one. That mentioned by a user who plays the game that says they enjoy seeing low levels run off fisting the Scorched Beast Queen. It's cute. It's adorable. It's fun. It's funny. It's courageous. They were complimenting the low level. Then you have this dude that's like, you, a low level. I cannot afford to get around this cancer. And then they just leave the game. You know, it makes me angry. If you want to read the other ones, like I said, I pulled off other ones.
The other ones ready. It's not hard.
Right.
I'm level.
These are.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm bringing off the friendlier comments as well, so feel free to do so now.
Right, there's some good. It's not hard. I'm level 15, all solo. Never touched an event over my level. Never touched an event over my level. I've done a few responder events solo, but I don't even touch the others. That's why I play so much to level, because I want to join eventually. But here's my problem.
This is the one he's making a point to say this dude's basically how I read it was, hey man, you're mistaken, and this is why, and this is the low levels perspective of the game. He's level 15 now. He makes a good point to not, but he's not flat out saying I can't. He says I won't bother until I know I'm ready. Again, stomping his balls. But what were you going to mention?
Here's my issue. These low levels that don't want to participate or choose not to, they may do the thing. If I was a low level, I'd join in on that event. You want to know why? I don't give a shit. And B, A, I don't give a shit. B, it's a limited time event.
Bromby has joined the event. Reason, Earl Williams, you have my genitalia and I want it back. I will take it from you, bitch.
I took his balls from him, okay?
You did. You also took his heads twice.
I did. I took his balls from him. But
Reason's getting head during the battle. Just cut his heads off like, you know what you were thinking, and walks out of the mine. You know what you were thinking.
You know what you were thinking. You weren't thinking the good thing. But here's my thing. People don't have enough time to start from level 1 and hit level 50 to do these fucking events. They don't have the time.
What's a bother? I mean, I can share a little bit of a story whenever we have that opening about how I perceive the game as a low-level character and how my daughters and wife have even flat out seen the game as faulted because of this reason. But I'll let you finish what you were saying. I just want to mention that whenever I get the floor back, I'll share with you a little story that I had about me leveling up in the Wasteland. And reasons why I want to help them.
Up in the Wasteland. I mean, I didn't have an exactly easy start, but I had people to help me when I was a low level.
We've had a start at least.
But I had people to help me when I was a low level. So why are people stopping on helping people now? It really does infuriate me to see that people are not helping, because they were helping when I was low.
To Soviet though. This kind of rage kind of comes back to Soviet, though. The rage we're feeling is Soviet's rage. When he mentioned, I don't care who you are and what level you are, I'll fight you for a low level. But see, his rage kind of consumes him and continues. So much of the company's mad at him for it because of the way he's doing it. But he's got that same kind of want to help. That's probably why he doesn't have a Reddit account. Because he'd probably get banned on the game for saying something like that against this guy. But you know, it's wrong to act like this to a bunch of low levels. Even if you try to make it sound genuinely friendly, you ain't friendly. You're just saying to other players who were probably on the same, trying to get them on the same mindset as you, hey, I'm a pro. I've been pro since birth, and I don't like seeing low levels in an event because they only hit ones or less. You want to come fight me, bro? I probably failed 90% of my Earl Williams fight. Even with my good guns, I still do the good guns on that loadout I was using for the 2 we did. I was doing, if I was lucky to hit a 5 on a crit. Those Wendigo spawns did not like my Gauss shotgun, but Earl was, like I said, he was a league of his own. I was lucky to get a 5 on a crit. So, again, But I don't fault the low levels because, and I want to mention that to you as well because
Right.
that's kind of what happens with me. You done, Amber? Okay. I don't know what she was doing.
I want to say a few more
But-
things. Yeah, I'm sorry. But you know,
Right.
I had a pretty good start, and I think you and I know very well why. And it was the old days. This is the new day, and people are stopping helping. Okay, I'm done. You have the floor now.
Well, here before, I was gonna. Okay, so I was gonna share with your viewers the point I wanted to make about when I was a low level. I had people that could help me, yeah, but they weren't what I'll call creditable. They were the kind that, again, ran silos on a daily basis, and that was even their method to level me up. Here, guys, I want you to run around in the silo with us, and then we'll launch it on the queen, and then we'll continue running over there. I wasn't too fond of it, but I did it because I need to level up. But as a low levels perspective for me, there wasn't a whole lot of people that were like, ew, that's a noob. There were people that still to this day, from the start of damn near beta, that drop off items at the vault and be like, and they'll wait. They may not wait there, but some of them might. Like I usually do if I do drop some stuff. So I haven't been doing it a lot because of reasons, but they drop off something to help you out. Sadly, they don't stay there to make sure the low level gets. I'm not gonna say noob. That's a stereotypical word given by God, egotistical God tier individuals. It's offensive. It's like taking another language, finding a word that's towards women or another race, and then spouting it out every time you get mad at somebody. If you don't just sit there and call people a noob, it's a low level, a beginner.
That's what I would
Novice is another one. Apprentice is even. But as a low level, when I was playing, people didn't super reach their next up, but they didn't just go, oh, look, it's a noob. I'm going to go away because I don't want to get cancer. Or they didn't even, like now, people assuming a low level is a squeaker. I'm using the word they use, where they're kids. I was like 10 and under. That's immediately assuming such. And I want to prove how wrong that was, because when, ever since those guys helped me, I helped other people on purpose. Even as a low level myself, I was only like level 20, but I made a point then to go, oh, hey, you're a low level, I'm a low level too, but you're a higher level than me. I'm going to help you out. You know, I made a point to say I might be a higher level than you, but I'm not God tier. I flat out acknowledge that. Just because I'm higher than you doesn't mean I'm better than you. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
And I willingly told them that. We're all in this together. The levels do not dictate anything in this game. That was my goal to starting the character that I am. My character is now. Levels do not dictate anything in this game. I mean, yeah, it tells you should be level 30 to run through the DMV, but is that going to stop another low level? I mean, still, that's part of the quest line, which is what hurts my feelings. That's Bethesda pulling into that God tier by saying things like you need to be level 30 or so before you can go in, pal. Oh wait, look, level 10 of mission. As you go through the DMV, you're gonna have to wait, buddy. Sorry, go back to the corner where you belong. That's kind of what's happening here. It's saddening. It's Bethesda doing that shit. They made that a wasteland refresh location. Where it was a pre-existing location that they refreshed to follow with Wastelander protocol. And if it wasn't for shit like that, they wouldn't be having to nerf the weapons and buffing the enemies to your level to where low levels could go in there and fight a level 5 CFG. You know, it's because of their stupidity and them flat out, and I'll say this, unintentionally or intentionally giving in to the God tier mentality. And I don't think it was on purpose, but again, that could have been avoided. if people would just kind of acknowledge levels, just because you're a high level or a low level doesn't mean you can't do it. But when you're a high level, if you're anything above, 1, you're still someone's low level, and you're still higher level than everyone else. And you should never get into a server and act like this dude.
Never.
That was an aggressive, not passive-aggressive, it's aggressive-passive. He started out being aggressive, and then he went and reworded his shit to sound less aggressive, because he realized mid-type that if I be like this, I'm going to get in trouble. So, if you look how he wrote his stuff, how the words he used, he wants low levels to go bye-bye permanently. He wants his game to be a god tier. Everyone that's in it that is a low level needs to go away, and people above 50 and above can stay in the game because they earned their what was that comment you made about it one time? Some kind of
right,
ancestral right or some shit you were mentioning about something as a joke.
They go into this fucking game.
And they're like, I'm 15 above. I have the right to stay here. You don't.
They're like, I'm level 200, and it's finally time to claim my birthright.
Yes, 50s and above usually have the mindset, brain does not work. They act like this is their wasteland, and anyone under level 50 is a peasant, and everyone at 50 and up, this is their birthright to say you can't stay here, and then they push to get you to go away. There are games that people like that got into, and that whole company just disbanded. They banned a whole bunch of people and said, fuck it, there's too many high-level dicks in our system. They cut their shit off because of that. And that kind of mentality kills the fan base, and it kills the game quicker. There was a time where you didn't assume they were a low level. You just gave them some things to start off. I give a low level 20 stim packs, 20 right away. Ammo for a gun, depending on what gun they have. Usually it's a pipe weapon. I might even give them a better gun that's not a pipe weapon. Your food and some water, because I know the game only gives you a right away, a Rad-X, a stim pack, and a purified water. It gives you no food or anything. I give them the stuff that they would have been denied the right to by a high-level player. And then I help them. I stay there and I wait to give them their stuff, and then I try to help them to at least a high enough level that I can give them a set of excavator armor at level, if I can help it, 200 on the health bar, and has calibrated shocks. So I can help them with their weight issue that they'll likely have not far into their little quest. Because I went through that phase where those guys helped me until I hit like level 30, and then they fucking bailed on me and said, there you go, you have fun. We're not going to help you anymore because you... was open. Now, they kind of did help eventually. So one of them ended up helping, but when he started helping, they ran him out of the game. They ran him off the game. They told him to get lost because, you don't need to help this guy out. They ran in a way, it's like a little gang. Outsiders are not welcome and are punished,
Right.
kind of thing. And eventually I left them. The dude, the one that ran off, he never will play Fallout again. That I know of, he doesn't play. I haven't bothered to contact any of them. It's funny how one of them was from West Virginia, but he had the second worst mindset of the four of them. They hated girl players, they hated low levels, and they hated people that wanted to be nicer than them. And it was to the point where, again, their group may have just fucking fell apart. I didn't see any of them online anymore. I'm glad. Because again, the more bad people you get in a server like this, the less likely the company is going to do what they would like to do. I also think sometimes that the company, I was going to say, let's not fault Todd here, but we'll fault the actions of the company on the fact that maybe players that are of that level base and that mentality could be the reason, flat out, why we can't play our games and have fun. I thought about that recently, and Amber made a point to say so last night. Maybe the reason why Todd doesn't give a damn is because there's so many players that we've just only seen one of today that are being so toxic that Todd's giving up. He's not leaving us behind. He's making the decision to give up and then leave because of player toxicity. She made a good point. She rolled over and went to sleep, and I stayed up for an extra hour just thinking about it. To think that we've been dogging Todd for damn near a year now, and it could be just because of the toxic players like this. Ones that usually don't speak
And
because they know they're going to be stupid, but they're going to fault everyone else for their...
And
they're
that
going to
was-
see their flaws and blame it on everyone else, and say that I was God tier at birth, and
Right.
noobs need to die.
And that would make sense that they're giving up, because look at what they're doing right now. They're making the enemies harder to kill, and they're kinking out the buffs of the bloodied stuff.
It's not harder to kill. It's going to be based on level.
Right, I know.
But yes, if you don't pay attention at your level, you could do like we've been getting like 90s and up. I'm like a 170 something. You're a 200, so it's understandable. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think it's because the company is, again, like others that have left and ceased to exist, literally have cut their games off. I think Todd's in the first stage of that. First stage those companies go through is realizing, hey, these people are a bunch of bitch-ass fuckers that don't listen and would rather bully and talk down to the people starting out than lending a hand and making the game a good game. And the more that happens after that realization, the less likely the company's going to say, hey, company's good, they're requesting this, and this, I'll consider it. The less they say, oh, look, the game's starting to fall apart and is barely able to stabilize enough to launch a nuke, let alone two, or even gameplay at all. Let's fix it. They won't do that ever again after a little bit. I think it's because of the people. The fan base that's like, oh yeah, nuke, like the one that like I sent you. People like that kill the gaming experience. And they even will do it.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll let you finish first. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm getting my point across as we go.
Good for once. Oh, no, that's your comment.
Yeah, that's the end of it, sorry. Yeah,
I saw.
Cut it out.
I was
100.
there with a 78 last night and felt utterly useless. I won't be participating again until I'm a higher level, or I'll use my higher level, but yeah. Ooh, for me, that was tough.
He's feeling the same thing we kind of felt when we were playing the event. Something just attacked the back of my head, lol. Okay, going inside. Going inside, nature's angry. You can probably hear it, can't you? I just step outside in the locust and shit like, Going inside. Nope, because the horseflies will dive bomb you, and again, remember, Clover got stung, so that's all it took. I felt it in my head too, and boom. Boy, that hurt. Look, back inside. I was just sitting there
There
derping.
needs to be a quitting penalty too. I had a bad squad just give up
Oh, yeah.
or quit halfway, and the people who didn't leave didn't notice till he failed the event. The worst part was Earl was mutated and a sliver from dead. If people didn't leave, we would have completed it fine. I wasted all my ammo and throwables. thanks, guys.
He's calling up the toxic players that were likely higher level than them, but were mad because the event wasn't going their way, which was just them. This guy makes a good point. The event is difficult, yes, but at the same time, quitting early is a bannable offense on the Xbox. I don't think it quite exists on, because not every system has a report saying, hey, you left too early, that's a ban. Quitting early will get you punished on the Xbox. I've heard as far as if they cut your account off, literally will cut your ability to play video games off. And if you get back in and it happens again, Microsoft would ban you permanently just for that. If it happens 3 times, you get a permaban, you're fucked. They're not going to give a damn because you're known to do it. But they might get you a punishment of small levels. Quitting early ain't taken lightly because it's just as bad as unsporting behavior where you jump into a game and go, hey, I'm going to go talk to the other team and barter with them to see if I can fuck you over so I can get a better reward because I'm a smart player. Only smart players succeed here, shit like that. That happens in a lot of the games such as World of Warships and the game about tanks, boats, and planes. My brain doesn't work right now. Those 2 games are notorious for having players like that, where they're going to talk to the leader of one group and say, hey, if you let me win, I'll bring the battlefield to you so you can kill all my team if you let me win at the end. So you get your KD ratio and I get a win that I can feel like I earned. The toxicity in games is pretty bad, but I also think Amber's right there about what she said about Todd. Maybe she's giving up. Maybe he is giving up because of the toxicity of people. You gotta remember, we've been dogging him too, so we're not really too much better off here in some of these situations. But it makes kind of sense as a dev team. A tactical advantage is to cut the game off and do the things that they're doing now. They've been getting backlash for anything they do. Like I said, when we were still focusing on Todd's credibility and not the wrongs, we're still right there, technically, because again, they're just doing what the company's going to do. It would make sense if they just did what they want and didn't give a damn about the community anymore. Back then, when we focused on the goods that they were doing, it's because everything they did, it didn't matter if Todd donated his liver and all of his organs to a person who needed it and sacrificed his life for someone else's, someone in the community would be like, oh look, Todd's just trying to be an ass kisser to get someone to play his shit game. Someone in the community will say Todd needs to kill himself because he made a shit game. We don't ever go that far in, but we do kind of dog the company for reasonable mistakes, but mistakes nonetheless. And our videos never say it's not completely Todd's fault. Even though some of our videos may hint it, it's not completely Todd's fault. And now that I think about it, it's the community's fault. They're not listening to us because the community, the bad ones, are being a bunch of twats. Talking down to low levels to the point where low levels are leaving. And they're like, you're gay, I don't like that. Your low level makes you homosexual. I've had people tell that to me in other games in the past, that according to my level being a 2, or let's go back to the modern day, old school, still open lobby, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Transit, Zombies. You are and I will say this the best way I can without offending anybody, you're a pussy-ass bitch N-word that does not deserve to live if you have the 2 bones as a cross to your rank. That's one of the noob levels, the lower levels. People will hate on you and then leave that server if it has anything at 1 or above. Even if the server is full of high-level players, they'll jump in and be like, ew, a low level. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go drink bleach because I saw a low level today.
Who does that too?
It's kind of bad. But, I'm starting to think that's why we're getting suppressed, though, too. It's because we're helping people like this. We're being nice to everyone. And, again, this kind of goes back to how toxic people are. I wouldn't hold it past the pieces of shit to say they're suppressing us because we're being nice to people. Because we're choosing to say, hey, these low levels deserve your respect. Chop, chop. Get to it. And then they get pissed off because we're on the low levels team. We choose to be nice to the low levels. We choose to make it vocal. That's where we're getting suppressed. No one will ever know if you dropped the bag off and left, unless someone was paying attention. And then they would be crotchety to sit there and say, hey, I saw you get that low level, or try to get that low level a bag of resources, so I went over there and took it because they don't need it. But that happens in other games as well. It doesn't just go just far as, hey, if I screw them over, you can screw everyone but me over. In return, I bring it to you. A place if you'll not kill me. That's your mutual agreement. But what they don't notice is there's other games that are just like Fallout, the concept of low levels start with nothing. That they never get to start the game because people are like, hey, again, same scenario. Hey, I saw you trying to help a low level out, so I went and took the shit you were giving him because you're a piece of trash that wants to ask kids to a noob. It's just terrible. The toxicity of people really does get me angry, honestly.
The way that
it's
people
terrible.
A bad mentality to have in general. Because
And that's the part I understand about Soviets wanting to help low levels no matter what, because he's been screwed by people like that before on so many occasions that he doesn't care. But it still stands. We can't quite make the game a better place, even though my post said we need to. We're never going to be able to, because as long as there's egotistical, sadistic, narcissistic, high-level players, these are the ones that know they're doing it and then choose to continue doing it, not the ones that are high-level and they're not all that problem. But as long as there are the ones that know they're doing it and are willingly doing it, the game won't fix. And I want to mention this before, that some YouTubers were mentioning in the past that Todd's a problem, and because of him, that the bridge between community and company has been severed in almost 3 to 4 years between him and all of his games and his communities. The bridge has been severed. And I think that just kind of kicked everyone off the dog tide, when really it's the community. A game sometimes it only takes 2 things besides the triangle success to make a game good. The company and the gameplay as one thing, and the community. If the community is faulting, they're naturally going to say it's the company's fault, because the narcissistic, egotistical, fill in any excuse here player of the god tier mentality, highest level you can get in the game, is getting mad because a bunch of noobs showed up in his server. I had told them in another message, and recently after the one I'm saved for you, that you're just pissed off because a low level decided to join a server with you, and you got to get over it, because Wastelanders is coming out and people are going to be flooding in as low levels, and if you don't like it, you can drink bleach. That's fine with me. I mean, you're already sending yourself to do so anyways by picking on the low levels because you think you're a god, but you're nothing more than an imp. You're lower than everyone else, but you're going to get mad at us or the low levels because no one else, everyone's, just by existing, everyone's rivaling you. There's no such thing as a lone wolf, buddy. It's called a loner. And I looked at that. I told him how it was. I told him he's wrong for saying the things he did. And the reasons why he feels that way is because he thinks that low levels are a cancer, when really, he is the cancer. I'll be toxic if I need to be toxic, but I'm toxic for the right things. I'm never toxic for the wrong things. I'm toxic for the right things. That you're just pissed because there's a low level around you. That's what I call a good form of toxicity, because it's directed towards the one that wants to point the fingers and say, fuck you, I'm white, I'm superior, and I hate noobs to the point where they need to kill themselves, like the female players. You know, female players, you should not even be allowed to play Fallout because of those same kind of people. They get mad because there's a girl low level, and it's like, oh wow, it's a double warning. You got one more, don't fail. Oh wow, she has a microphone. We're gonna have to have you banned now. And they'll scare her off, making her think she'll get that it's bannable. You wonder why there's no female players in video games, right? That's why people are sexist to the point where at one point, like I said, I made a joke, and this is a joke. I know there are some that exist, but I made a joke about the NPCs. Honey, get the camera. I find a black NPC. I find a female NPC. That's me saying that a lot of players were so toxic that if you were black or female or mute or something of that, or a kid, you were a target to the god tier people. Take a picture and last longer. I was amazed. I wasn't trying to be racist. I wasn't being sexist. I was being amazed. Because in this community, whites rule. No matter what I could say against it. White males. Let me say it like that. White males. If you're any other race besides that, for some reason, the other guys get mad. I enjoy seeing it when I actually do find a black player or a female player. I enjoy it because it's a mold that needs to be broken and let out with light. Not put on a clay pot in the middle of nowhere in the darkest room that you can find. Female players, there needs to be more of them, because stats show that it's 40-something% are female over male. And yet we see more male players taking their testosterone pills and huffing pot as they're playing our video games, being asswats. And they can't stand a female playing their game. They can't stand seeing another race playing a video game. And it needs to go. It makes this, so if anything, if I leave from here on out, not only will it be because of, again, I can't really super say I can support the company, but it'll be because of toxic players. I'll be here to stay until I find one of those toxic players. And I can assure you, Bob, I'm not going to hint what I'll do, but I must say for any of the toxic players I find that make me want to leave the game, I hope they have enough money to pay for the things that'll happen shortly after. I hope their family can help and won't leave them behind, because they're going to need it. It's at that point, it also reminds me of a time where, I've said before, I've hacked people and screwed up their shit because they've been a dick. Because they get in a video game and say, give me all your shit or I'll hack your game, and then they start getting hacked because I sent someone to do it for me or did it myself. You know, William especially has no belly for human life. If the individual's like, gun to face, give me your game and everything you own, and I might not shoot you. William enjoys killing people like that. He has killed people before, and I will admit it. He'll admit it. He finds it salivatory. He loves it to kill someone who was seconds before like, give me all of your give me everything, your wallet, your keys, your car, your firstborn, anything. Or they have the balls to go up to you and do that. Williams says those people deserve the slowest and most painful death ever. Something worse than punji board needles up their fingernails. He never tells me what that is, like what the thing that's worse than it is. But I kind of agree with him on that. At that point, they're not valuing your respect in human life. So why should you? Now, am I saying I'm going to kill a bunch of people? No, but like I said, once the damage is done, whatever happens, I think it'll leave a lot of people realizing, if they ever finally catch onto it, so this is why he's doing it. I might be a villain of sorts, but I won't be as bad of a person when they find out my motive. Because I won't be killing anybody, and I won't be harming anybody, but I'll be proving a point. Just because you think no one's watching you in cyberspace doesn't mean you can be an asshole. Period. It's kind of depressing to see, though, to even see the post. And I also want to mention that because of that post, I'm no longer a part of the Fallout Reddit. To me, it's just another form of toxicity, and something my kids don't like to see me suffer and be angry at the video games that they know I used to enjoy. So, because of the toxic fans of Fallout 76, I'm no longer following, or soon, likely if this video ends, I'll be, because my phone won't be able to handle both that and the video, I'll be leaving the Fallout Reddit. Because I just can't stand it. I mean, the Fallout community's marketplace for Reddit is also toxic to the point where you can't even make a post. You weren't even allowed to make a post on getting something before they kept taking it. There's no rule set saying it's a marketplace, and that their rules are so vague and half-assed that making a post about marketing will get it taken down. That's how bad it is. I looked up their rules, Bromby. It's vague. It's lethargic. It's lazy. It's run by people that think, well, if you're not selling guns that are actually for real-world currency, you're fake. To keep the bad out of their community, in quotes, they punish those who are actually vending the right way. You went to trade, and they took your post down. You went to buy or sell it, they took your post down. You're not speaking the language of the way of the ass player. So they took it down.
The other reason they took it down, the main thing that they had a problem with was the title. The title of the fucking post.
Really?
Yeah. Your title.
How gay is these community members? There's nothing wrong with your title. It was under the rules. Wonderful, wonderful games. I'm kind of starting to see why the company doesn't give a fuck about the community anymore. I can see why now. They're losing their grip on their own video game because of players. It's getting worse every day. I mean, as we sit here, 8 low levels every second leave the game because of something that's part of the game or because of someone else. So, every second. So, that'll be a thing to think about. Of course, every second someone dies as well, but we'll be less morbid here and just say every second a low level leaves Fallout because of people, the community, or the gameplay. So, just keep that in mind, people. That, hey, you're not better than everyone else. You're not better than me. You're not better than Bromby just because of a level. You're not worse either. there's no reason to be this way, and we can make Fallout great again
We're gonna get
by being friendly.
we can make a friendly community out of this. It doesn't have to be the. And I wanted to mention, I'm a level 200 now. I fall into that category of high level. Yet I'm not.
You kind of did it ever since 50.
Well, true, but I'm not like everyone else. It's like, oh, that low levels don't have a place here. I just think I would like to try to get them through this without them dying, because they will get just a great reward for being there.
I got a hell of a lot of XP. That would have been my first priority. I would have like, fuck the actual finishing the event. Fuck the objectives. I want to help them not die. But apparently everyone else hates the idea. That's why I think people get mad at us. Because we're willing to do so. The world favors darkness over light. So they're going to try to smother us out because we're being good and friendly. But without darkness, the light doesn't have a reason to shine brighter, so come at me, bro. I dare ya.
People.
Amber, I think I put too much peanut butter on the bagel.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna take a picture of that shit. I'm gonna send it to you, ma'am. I'll send you a fucking picture. This thing is brutal. Clover was gonna hit me with the fucking spoon because I was doing something a little bit ago. And I was putting the peanut butter on it. I scooped out a fuck ton of peanut butter and tried to level it off. And she's like, "Excuse you?" I'm like, "What?" This is what was left over. When I scooped it out and put it on there, it was a glob. But it melted out. Yeah. I like peanut butter in my bagel. I'll have cream cheese, but it has to be a certain type. I don't just put any cream cheese on it. I like a specific kind of brand. Usually it's something Amber will eat if I decide to make. I usually eat one half. And she'll eat the other. But if I put peanut butter on it, she won't eat it. Alice is sitting there sniffing it right now like, I'm not going to eat that, but I want to. Don't like that, Alice. You won't like it. It's got vodka in it. No. Oh, peanut butter.
Oh, peanut butter.
She can smell it, and she's sniffing it, but she knows. She knows. She ain't no idiot. She knows what peanut butter smells like. But it's funny when she sees it in liquid form. She's like, I'm gonna nom that. But it smells like peanut butter. Are you trying to trick me? Is that caramel that smells like peanut butter? No, Alice. It's peanut butter that smells like caramel. Cool. I'm gonna leave it alone then. Alice likes caramel.
Caramel.
And then I took a melted little block of caramel combined in block form. I took one, I was like, I'm gonna melt this. And I'm like, Alice, come here. When it cooled down enough to still be liquid but not burn her, she looked at me and just kind of poured it on her face, right under her nose. And she started licking that fucker up. Like, yes, so sticky. Yes, yay, it's my peanut butter. She get a little block of caramel. Yeah, I won't give it to her in a block, in like the actual block form, but I'll feed it to her in a liquid form and she'll be fine. I fear she'll tear her teeth out. Fucking caramel apples, man. I remember trying to give Jinx a caramel apple slice and she wouldn't even dare. This is not an apple, because you put caramel in it, so I won't eat it. That's what she looks like. She's like, what are you trying to... Damn it, this is not even an apple.
This is not even an apple.
Alice. So much peanut butter. I'm squishing it together and it's just dripping.
Guys,
Peanut butter.
this was just something we needed to say. This was something that had to be said about this because if we don't, no one else is gonna do it.
If we don't do it, we in the community, then you can't expect someone to stand up for the low levels that will be coming back or starting the game. This could have been their first time playing the game. And imagine if they saw the Reddit and was like, should I get Fallout? And someone's going to tell them yes, but don't come near me because I don't like nukes. It's not going to be said. They'll tell you yes because you'll be their target forever. If we don't be nice to the low levels, no one's going to reach their neck out and be friendly to them. And then they're kind of alone. It sucks enough that the game's kind of started out being that a lot of the Fallout games are single player oriented, but it sucks even more to see shit like this happen amongst the community. Peanut butter bagel.
Peanut butter bagel. But
Closer just stuck her finger in the peanut butter and was like, what is?
what is?
It's basically what is. It's peanut butter. It confused her for a second. I mean, it looks like caramel when you melt it. Crusty. Crusty. Bye. But yeah.
But I'm gonna end this video here.
Here's my peanut. What you gonna see?
Hey, Mark. My hands are covered in it. I know, it's strange. It made me gag when I opened the jar. I'm gonna see if it actually lets me stay full for the whole entire day. By shoving a bunch of peanut butter on bread, that it's totally gonna work. Oh man. I figured just eat the. Okay. That's just for peanut butter. So you have to cut out some of her voice, but as soon as I'm done with what I'm doing, we can go upstairs and do that event. By the way, how did you get any of those events in last night?
None of them started. None of them even fucking going on yet.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm gonna end this video.
I guess I can.
Thank you guys for watching.
Crusty dusty.
Thank you guys for being here to give me some things to talk about, and some extra evidence there with some comments.
Eating a napkin clover. I should go over his face with peanut butter. It's like, bro. Kind of pie to face moment. You should put the picture of that peanut butter bagel on.
Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys.